What's going on, guys? I'm Chris DiCola. I'm here at the wonderful Signal Flow Studios, and today we're going to break down a song called Diluted by ZuP.
I've been feeling so deluded.
So Diluted is a song off of an EP that ZuP and I did called Remedies for Busy Bees. Now, I could talk about my relationship to ZuP all day if you'd let me, but I'll just say this. Back when I was 16, a teenager playing in bands in the local Cleveland music scene, people like ZuP, Chris Marinin, Jason Cloth taught me and my friends how to be a part of the scene, right? Those are the guys who really took us under their wing and passed the torch on to us and showed us how to really do this stuff, you know? ZuP took a hiatus from music for a while. He came back to it semi-recently within the last few years, and when he came back to doing music, he started coming here to Signal Flow Studios and doing his work with me. So I can't overstate how special it is to me to have that full circle moment where after all these years we've reconnected as peers now and we get to make music together. We're going to break down this production, but first I want to give a shout out to the mixing engineer on this project, our good friend, the Grammy Award winning Brad Pewitt. We're just looking kind of within the vocal and the production session for today's video, for all intents and purposes anyway. This isn't the actual mix. What Brad does with these productions is just phenomenal. Brad, I love the energy and life that you give to my productions. ZuP goes to Brad for all of his mixing. I've actually been able to work with Brad on some of the stuff I've done with Tropodelic as well, and I'm always super stoked with what you do with the man. So great job. Congratulations again on bringing home the Grammy this year. It's well earned, my friend. All right, let's break it down. Let's check out the top here. Little filtered drums going on.
I've been feeling so deluded.
Nice. The groove just kind of reveals itself right away on this one. We'll do a real quick analysis of the drum beat itself. We've got a little bit of a kick sample that we chopped up. We got a top loop on top of that, right? And then this drums glue, I believe it's just both of those things. Yeah. Basically, this drums glue is kind of acting as parallel compression, right? I mean, I have a track here that is just the drum beat itself pumped up, very compressed. You can hear we did a little bit of like a vinyl noise in there. Hear a little crackling. And then I was able to blend in the actual dry signals of those drums too. And that's what gave us the full effect that we're hearing here. Let's check out the bass. The bass is super low on this one. Might be a little bit tough to catch on a phone. There's a little bit of a room reverb on that too. Very, very subby, wubby, very low. What we've done to sort of bring that line out and make it a little bit punchier and a little bit more clear and legible is we added this electric guitar kind of shadow picking it. So listen to those together. Very effective technique. You hear that technique used a lot in reggae. That's where I picked it up from, is the productions that I've done in that genre. Just a solid way to you know, highlight the bass line and give it a spotlight and a little more range, right? I can kind of tell what the bass is doing because that guitar is informing me of what it's doing. That's definitely a nice technique. So we're going to move on a little bit here. We're still in verse 1. That's how we kicked this song off. Let's get a little context.
But I don't know any way else. All these tears are the only thing that keeps me floating.
Yep, so you heard we got these guitar chords coming in there. Now we got some more melodic content, right? Here's what these guys are doing. This guitar that just came in. I am such a slut for those extensions on a minor 7 chord. I love just walking it up with the pinky a little bit. Such a nice flair. And that lined up very well with ZuP's vocal melody right there. I love the way that these two things relate.
All these tears are the only thing that keeps me floating.
That keeps me floating as the bleep, 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 bloop is going on the guitar, right?
Are the only thing that keeps me floating.
I love little cheeky stuff like that. All right, moving left to right here. We're coming up towards the end of the verse. All we're adding in this first verse is now we're going to layer up that guitar part with an acoustic guitar as well. Here she goes. And that's not just an ordinary acoustic. Actually, let me see if I can grab it real quick, because I think I know where it's at. I actually used this thing for tracking that acoustic guitar. It's a Seymour Duncan like acoustic pickup, super cheap. You just like drop it in the sound hole. It's got a volume knob on the end of it here, and then you would plug a 1/4 inch into this end. And it doesn't really sound very good. You know, I actually decided to lean into that, right? I plugged the acoustic into my Mikey preamp by Empirical Labs. Really, really solid preamp. I use it for just about everything. It's got the same saturation channel that the Distressor compressor has in it. So you can get some very cool lo-fi tones with an instrument like this. Let's listen to it by itself. Little bit like nasally and boxy and kind of vintage sounding. I thought that was a cool tone for it. It's not super apparent in there, just a way to sort of widen out that first guitar part with a little more sonic character. Next up, we're gonna get to where this starts to get interesting. We're coming into the hook here.
Quit, you'd be surprised. Sorry for the blood as I bleed all over your floors and sheets. Didn't you say that you hate this carpet anyway?
Really pulling the rug out from under him on this one, aren't we? So just two little elements going on underneath that hook. The first is called Clicky Sign. Clicky Sign's a cool patch. That's a stock one in Reason. Load that sucker up, throw a bunch of reverb on it, call it a day. Really, really easy tool to work with. I like that sound a lot. Next, we're doing something that I'm a huge fan of. There's a bass guitar accompanying that Clicky Sign patch. You can hear what it's doing here. Yes, that's a bass guitar. I wouldn't expect, scores of people to know this or to notice this, but that's actually a way to use a bass guitar that I am a very, very big fan of. I've done that in a lot of my productions over the years. Just little intervals, little two-note chords high up on the D and the G string on a bass guitar. Just very softly touch those, just really nice finger style on those. And then obviously you can hear a lot of reverb on that too. I think that's a really cool use for an electric bass guitar that you don't hear too many people using. It's not really what your head thinks of when you imagine what a bass sounds like, right? It's very watery, very underwater, and just kind of calming. As we keep going in this hook, we're going to trade that for another bass patch I like a lot, the 101 bass. Another Reason patch. Low down, a little bit of a fuzz and drive to it, but nice sub cushion. That's a really cool sound.
Carpet anyway.
And then, of
Promise
course,
you I'll leave once I'm all cleaned up. Though you're the reason I'm bleeding. Throw me a towel.
Now the acoustic guitar is making a big appearance, whereas earlier we had that vintage sound that was plugged directly into the preamp with that cheapo pickup I was using. Now we have actual definition and clarity. We've used a nice microphone on the acoustic guitar to get a more real sound out of it. After that, we're going to come back into verse 2, right?
This all okay?
We're going to hit that same groove that we had for verse 1.
I've been feeling so diluted.
Time to hit him with a little bit of extra ear candy, right? So ZuP gets on the mic and he hits these oohs. Very nice. Starting to do a little more with the vocals at this point in the song. Another thing about where we're at in the song is, sure, we really did a lot with that hook to make it feel different and unique from what we had built up to that point, but coming back into this same groove, I'm over a minute into the song. I don't want to feel like I know exactly what's going to happen in this verse. So listen here, I'm just going to play all this straight through for you. We're going to ditch the guitar that we're using in the verse part. We're going to replace it with like a cool pitch bendy kind of synth patch. And we're going to introduce this change by dropping the beat and hitting some DJ scratches. Check out how we did it.
Love myself.
Here you go.
All my friends must think I'm stupid. But I don't know.
Right? So just a little bit of a change up there. Just something else kind of unexpected. Keep them on their toes a bit. Have some fun with it. That's a cool sound. That's 40's very own it's synth virtual instrument, right? That's a contact patch from Native Instruments. Of course, that's 40, as in Drake's producer. He's done a lot of stuff with Drake, and he's got a few different contact patches. He's got the keys. He's got the drums. Those are some cool sounds to play with. All right, so coming up around the bend here, closing this song out. We're at my favorite part. This is a very much a best for last type of thing. So we're gonna go back to our hook the way we had it the first time, right?
Sorry for the blood as I bleed.
Sign and bass.
All over your floors and sheets. Didn't you say?
Here's where it's gonna get interesting.
You ate this carpet anyway. Sorry for the blood as I bleed all over your.
When we first were doing this song, we knew that we liked the hook being so different from the verses, but I thought that hook was so great and very poignant, especially lyrically, that it kind of deserved its own arrangement, right? Earlier on, what we did is we hit him with the the clicky sign and the bass guitar.
That you ate.
Then we brought in the acoustic
anyway. Promise you I'll leave once I'm all
for the second half of the hook. But on this second hook, we're not even going to come in. We're not coming back in on the second half. We're just starting it again from the top just to be like, okay, listen, time out. This hook is good enough to demand its own production here. Run it from the top, and we're going to start adding some different elements. Let's break those down. First off, ZuP's harmonies. Beautiful. Love these harmonies.
Sorry for the blood as I bleed all over your floors and sheets. Didn't you say that you ate this carpet anyway? Promise
this carpet anyway. I love that. It's got like a very like 2000s feel to it. That was fun. Some percussion going on now. We've got a tambourine and a shaker that I laid down in the booth. Nice little rhythm to it. Underneath that is guitar perk. That's just me banging on an acoustic guitar. Piano here is what's really giving this a sense of drama. A lot of weight, a lot of emotion in this piano, right? Oh, a little tambourine shake, yeah. Okay, Chrissy. Here's with the bass, too, underneath the piano. Let me show you now with the acoustic guitars.
You're the reason I'm bleeding.
Here we are at the second half of the hook, right? And we upped the ante on them just a little bit more. We actually went a little bit doo-woppy. You don't hear this every day. I don't do a bop doo-wop type thing in every session, right? That was a cool one to figure out with ZuP. That was, I mean, he's just so talented with vocal melody. You really can do a lot with his voice as far as letting it be a part of the production, not just on top of it, right?
Do I leave once I'm all cleaned up? Look, you're the reason I'm bleeding. Throw me a towel, I'll make this all okay.
And a nice, short, simple, sweet ending.
Throw me a towel, I'll make this all okay.
That's all, man. Yeah, I really love how this one came out. I think there's a really cool contrast between the groove of the verses and the tenderness of the hook. I really enjoy the contrast here. So yeah, this is Diluted by ZuP. It's off of Remedies for Busy Bees. You can listen to it anywhere. Check it out. Thanks for watching the video, ladies and gentlemen. If there's anything that you think I might have missed, anything you would have done differently, sound off in the comments. If this gave you any ideas production-wise, or if you have questions about the production, please leave a comment for that as well. Or if you're familiar with my work and there's another song that I've done that you'd like to see a breakdown for, holler at me and maybe I'll whip up a video about that song for you. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep on fighting the good fight. Take care.